Hello there folks, it is TIJ again. Welcome back to our Conquering the Euro save on Football Manager 2021. Today, it's part 4 of Season 2 with OGC Nice, and in today's video we take on Toulouse Football Club, who are only a few spaces behind us. They're not a terrible side at all in the last 16 of the Coupe de France. And then we go away to Montpellier, who we beat 5-0 in the home fixture. As you can see, they are bottom of the table, so should be a good opportunity for 3 points, but it's the sort of game we could well slip up in. But we're nearly at the end of January. It's been a while since you guys have last seen me. You last saw me in the Marseille and Bordeaux game, so it's nearly been 2 months. Let's have a look at what's been a good period since then. Didn't start off so well though. Zakaria managed to get himself sent off against Saint-Etienne. That was a game we were looking to win or at least get a draw in. But to be fair, after he got sent off, we went 2-0 up and I thought, great, we're in here. And then it just started to unravel. It was 2-1 at half-time, and then some early goals in the second half meant that Saint-Etienne won that game. But since then, we haven't dropped a point because of one man, and one man only really, Deji Satona. Came in off the bench. He was a player who was playing for the second team most this year. And, you know, wasn't doing all that bad at 1 goal, 3 appearances, but it was suggested we'd been bringing him through. And none of our strikers have done that well. We played him here, we started him up front, and he scored 1-0. We beat Angers. Same happened against Toulouse. He scored again, albeit they got a man sent off. We played against Spinel, them, in the 9th round, aka the last 64 of the French Cup, and he scored 2 there. We beat Lorient in the Ligue. He scored again there. Unfortunately, he didn't score in the 10th round of the French Cup, but again, another 2-0 result, and he scored in the game against Reims. So, what's that? He's played 6 games. That he, actually, to be fair, we can let him off for that 10th round match in the Coupe de France, but he didn't even play. So in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games he's played, he's scored. So he's a man in red hot form, but you can see we've been in quite good form. Out of the 5 Ligue 1 games, we've won 4 of them, and that leaves us a little bit like this. 6 points behind Marseille are in the European positions. It's still relatively early days. There's 38 games left of the season, and we are starting to be in some good form. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that something can happen. I've just seen that Donis is the top goal scorer with 16 goals for Saint-Etienne. Tell you what, they must be scoring a lot, but letting a hell of a lot in at the back. To be fair, they haven't scored that many, really. 32, nothing drastic compared to those teams around them. I guess they've just got one man scoring for them. But a few things have happened. We've had the January transfer window, of course. We've had a few events that have happened. We've signed Glenn Durand from Lorient. He was recommended as a young prospect. He looks a very good one, and we've spent $1 million on him. He was from Lorient. And we've also brought in Jorge Hernandez from Vitoria in Portugal for $4 million. He looks a solid player, 26 years of age. He'll fit in just by Gravelon in the centre of defence. We've only got 3 centre-backs now. We'll come back to that in just a second with the other one that's not on this list. But unfortunately, Stanley Nasoki has chosen, rather than to extend his contract with us, to go to Brighton. Now, he's a player that didn't really play for us, to be fair, because he was out on loan at Nantes. But we had a player leave, who I'll talk about in a minute, so we had to bring him back. He was the next choice. Obviously, we brought Fernandez in, and we did try to get him to sign a new contract. He wouldn't do it, so unfortunately, he's going on a free to Brighton. And talking about that, we have sold Robson Bamboo to Santos. The club not particularly happy about this one, but he didn't play that much this year. He's not a world beater, and Santos came with a 10.75 million offer with add-ons of a potential 3.5 million. And I thought, well, you know, he's certainly not a world beater. We can get better for the same price. And we signed Fernandez for 4 million, so a solid profit there. You can see that, okay, Robson Bamboo's a bit quicker, but generally they are similar players, that there's not much between them in terms of the diamond there, if you like. Anything else that's happened? Not really. We've sent out Julien Nicole to Angers on loan. He's one to watch out for. He's definitely a man who can come in at the back, potentially. He did play for us in the Coupe de France in that first game, I think. Got a 7.48, which is brilliant. But his attributes look really good. There are a lot of players in this squad who can definitely come up to Ligue 1 level in the future, but he looks like a real star, a potential ability of at least 4 stars. So he's gone out on loan to Angers, who are in Ligue 1. Got a 7.2 in his first game for them. Let's see who they played. And I just think being in and around the first squad somewhere will definitely help him out, as you can see. Yeah, pretty much man of the match in that first match. Keep it up, mate. Right, we're in the Coupe de France. It is the 11th round, which is the last 16. PSG have already knocked out Marseille in this round. The big boys are still here. We've got Monaco, ourselves, Lille, and Lyon, but two of the big boys were together and PSG beat Marseille. I'd expect us to beat Toulouse today, but I guess you just never know. So the side today, we've got Maxime Dupe in goal, replacing Paul Bernardoni. We've got most of our right backs injured, so we have a regen, Nduwayo. Aimable, what a name. We'll call him Aimable, that's brilliant. We've got Aimable making a rare appearance at the back. He did play in the first Coupe de France game again, an average rate of 7.7. Wants to break into the first team, and he's certainly got an opportunity to do that. He's third choice at right back, so let's see how he does today. We've got Danilo and Malero in the midfield. We've Sakaria and Mayalida on the wings. And then up front, we've got Satona and Dolberg. You'll notice we've changed. Dolberg tends to be here, but we've gone with two up front, two up top. I think that works out a little bit better, personally. I think it gets us a few more chances, a few more goals. And it's what we've been playing recently, so you can't really argue with the current form book. I've got a really bad ulcer. In fact, I've got one there and one there. Terrible, isn't it, on my mouth? And it's making it hard to commentate. I feel a bit like, it's horrible, but we'll get there. Pumped fist for this one. I think the pump fist work intends to encourage. I expect nothing but a win from this game. I think that's fair enough because, yes, Toulouse are a good side. There are a few places, to be honest, in the league, but we've won our last 5 matches. We're doing well. It's starting to come to light for us, and if we can win the French Cup, we do qualify for the Europa League next year, which you have to say, is that really a stat? Nice, no. That's just got to be in the Cup, surely. It said Nice have not conceded where Gravelon, our centre-back's been in the team. That's just got to be for the Cup, definitely, because he's played most games for us. Unless I'm forgetting something. Anyway, early chance here, potentially. 4 minutes in. Malero on the ball in the midfield. Passes it to Mayazan Mayalida. Is he going to put a ball into the box? He does. Into Dolberg, and that goes just over. Of course, we're looking for... I mean, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen, but it's a nice stat, certainly. If Satona scores in today's match, he'll make it 6 games in a row with a goal. And if you recognise Satona from somewhere, I did as well. As an English football fan, he's an ex-Man United youngster. Where did he go? I'm trying to think where he went after United. Feels like somewhere like Celtic. No, Dundalk. Close enough? No, not at all. But he's been around the block, you can see. He's been around the block, definitely. And United didn't think he was good enough, but he's certainly pulling the strings in one of the top European leagues at the moment. The only problem is that Crivelli, oh dear, that's a penalty. What's going on here? That's a disaster. Toulouse have got a penalty. I'll come back to that in a minute, but handball by Matthias Rees, and it's 1-0 to Toulouse. I have to say, that's a bit against the run of play. We've been playing well so far. We've had most of the ball, but bizarre penalty there. The keeper could have got that, but didn't. We need to really be doing a bit more here. I don't want to go in 1-0 behind, because they're just going to sit back, I would guess, now and defend. But as I said, for Satona to be running the side, it's a problem for the two other guys. Obviously, Crivelli's at the club. Mofi's coming to the club for £12 million. And I wouldn't say he's been a failure, but he's a striker. He's at the club to score, and he's got 2 goals. So he's not really had much success, if we're going to put it like that. But this game also looks like it's not going to have much success. I think it's the camera curse, definitely, because it's now, I thought it was anyway, it's very nearly 2-0 to Toulouse. We've got 10 minutes left, really, before we start to make a change here. We've only had 5 shots, none of them on target, so if you're not going to get any of your shots on target, then you are definitely going to struggle. Malero's starting to struggle, so we will bring on Thomas. I can't be bothered to pronounce his last name. It's just not quite working, is it? Gonna have to go attacking here. Bit more direct. Just see how it goes. Just see how it goes ultimately. We certainly need to do something about this. Because it could be 2-0 here, and it is. Camera curse. Definitely. And given that we're only taking part in 2 competitions this year, I did want the French Cup to go well for us. But it seems Toulouse are going to knock us out here. I thought that might happen, and it might well be the camera curse. So sometimes just not a lot you can do about it. I mean, the frightening thing is that I was thinking about playing all the youngsters here, but yeah, that ain't going to work, is it? We're going to take Dolberg off just to rest him, bring Crivelli on, see what he can do. We're a bit powerless at the moment. I don't quite know what to do here. There's not a lot we can do. Try and fire the lads up, go very attacking, but I think we're out. I think we are out at the French Cup, and this is going to be quite embarrassing because it's the first time we've faced a decent side. The other two have been lower league sides. So this hasn't been great at all for us at all, really. It's a concern. It is definitely a concern. Very nearly now 3-0. The concern to me isn't necessarily that we've conceded 2. I can deal with that. Because we've got our second choice goalkeeper who apparently has played very well. My issue is that we've not made anything up front. 2 shots on target throughout. We've been outplayed. Toulouse's XG has been better. You just have to hold your hands up and accept it. But it's frustrating. We're out the French Cup. We wanted to do a lot better than that. It was a good opportunity to potentially get into the Europa League next year. And yeah, it's frustrating, that is. So again, another disappointment. I don't think the club are going to be very chuffed about that. Yeah, reach semi-final minimum. That's what we wanted to do. We've got to qualify for the Europa Conference League from the league, so that's something we've got to do. I think if we finish 5th or 6th, we should be all right. But yeah, just 17 games to go now because we're out of the French Cup. Disappointing. Look at that run, by the way, there. PSG, Lyon, Marseille and Bordeaux. Christ, it's going to be horrible. But anyway, onwards and upwards. Surely we can get a result against Montpellier. Well, another sale, and it's not one I really wanted to make, but we're feeling the pulling power of the Premier League, and it's not going our way. Diogo Dalot has joined Leeds United for £18 million. 18 million on the dot. They offered 12 at first. He wasn't going for that, but we signed him for 3.9 a few years ago from Man United, so a very good profit made. Unfortunately, we haven't yet got anyone in to replace him. We've got till the 6th when the transfer window closed. We've got 2 names in mind, and I'm very much preferring one of them over the other. I was going to go for Kijana Hova. We've put a bid of £12 million for him, which, of course, is one of our former players. Very good potential. But we've also got Gertruida from Feyenoord, who's actually, I don't think he is transfer listed, but Arsenal are interested in him. But he looks a good player. He's had 2 or maybe even 3 years of experience at Feyenoord. He's a good right back, as you can see. He's at least 3 stars, and he'd fit. And crucially, he's going to cost us a lot less than what Hova would cost us. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. I don't think Hova would really benefit the squad that much. But our squad is the usual, really, today. Unfortunately, Gravelon has picked up a ban because of too many yellow cards. So Trusty Kong makes an appearance at centre-back. Jorge Fernandez is in there as well. And because Satona is a little bit tired, we've got Crivelli and Dahlberg up front. No gesture today. I think we're favourites. We've got to win this comfortably. Ultimately, if we're going to do anything this year, that's exactly what we're going to do. Good news, Marseille lost their game. I think they lost to Nantes or somebody like that, 4-2. And Lille drew as well. So a big chance today to gain some ground on the clubs ahead of us. But easier said than done. We did beat Montpellier 5-0 in the first fixture, but again, you just never know, do you, with these things. Wouldn't be bad for the goal difference at all. We've got an early highlight, though, here at the start of the match, which makes me think there could be a very early goal, and given it's up their end of the pitch, I'm quite happy about this. Crivelli, Dahlberg, into Coman. 30 seconds in, 1-0 Nice. I guess the panic's off a little bit, but the commentator's curse, as those of you who watched the last episode will know, he isn't really helping us out at the moment at all. But good pass to Danilo. Coman's had a good season. I do worry about a lot of these players, the likes of Dahlberg, Coman, that if they're not playing in the Champions League, they're going to be out the door. See, I mentioned Coman and he gets injured. Potential knee injury, that could be absolutely anything. We are going to bring Sakaria on for him. So to be fair, as I've said, you know, I've blown Sakaria's. I really did that one wrong, didn't I? I have praised Sakaria. There we go, quite a bit. That's very nearly a cracker from Reese there. Yeah, I've praised Sakaria quite a lot. And he's been a good player. I think ever since that red card though against Saint Etienne, he's been a little bit out of the plans, really. Yeah, it was Nantes that Marseille lost to 4-2, but it's looking okay, this is, to be fair. 1-0 up, we've got all the games so far. If we can make it 2 here, it is looking good. Not quite making it 2. You do get a little bit complacent, I suppose, against these teams, but Montpellier have had a disastrous season. I think they were forecast to finish about 12th, but they've been well adrift at the bottom. They're on 9 points. I mean, Nîmes above them are on 14, then it's 17 Metz and Lorient. They're quite cast away from the rest of the league. Another defeat today would not help them out, but I wouldn't mind beating them. So a cracking ball from Dolberg to Ndai, and a good stop from the Montpellier goalkeeper, but I'll tell you what, it very nearly went in. Quite a few highlights here suggest that we're absolutely all over them, and hopefully we can take advantage by getting a few goals for the goal difference. You can see, because Marseille dropped points, and because, well, they lost, didn't they? Because Lille dropped points, we're now only, as it stands, 3 points behind Marseille, which gives us a good chance. If we can finish 5th or 4th or 5th this year, I'd be chuffed, I really would, because, as we've said, this year is very much the rebuild season. It's our first full season in charge of Nice, and we're still putting our mark on this squad. There's no doubt about that. We're going to bring Danilo off for Chalobah. Again, Chalobah, another player who's played well. It's only really Mofi who I can complain about as a new signing. He's had his chances. He's scored a few goals, but he's certainly not set the world alight. I don't know if we're playing him in a position he doesn't like, but yeah, I can't quite figure it out. But he's on the bench again. It might be good to give him a bit of a run out, but ultimately 15 minutes here and there isn't really going to help anybody. Sakaria's now got a bit of a niggle, but we have made 2 substitutions. I had forgot about that, admittedly, because Danilo, of course, came off as well. We had Coman come off with an injury earlier on. Hopefully it'll be 2-0 here. We need to finish this off. Good ball into Crivelli. No, not quite. It's not going to be the 5-0 today, is it? But we do need to finish this off. Definitely. Dolberg with a header. Again, not quite. Not quite there. It's one of those games, isn't it, where I do worry about this. Montpellier could nick a late draw. We're going to bring Milero off, actually, are we? No, we're not. We're going to bring Maya Leader on for Sakaria, who's got a niggle as well. So 2 or 3 of our players picking up niggles in this match is a bit of a worry. I must apologise, it's not been the most exciting episode. We had that goal early on, and apart from that, we've hardly had a highlight. But a good 3 points. Good match from Jorge Fernandez, who seems to be a good signing in the middle of defence. And another 3 points gained. Bordeaux lost, which is good for us. Saint Etienne won again. These are clubs we're not really too fussed about, but you can see that Nantes, Rennes, ourselves started to have a little bit of a breakaway group from those behind, which is good. Remember, we finished, what, 12th, 13th last year, so we're a long way away from that. And if we keep the positive momentum, there's no reason to say we can't get back into that group of Lille and Marseille and get European football next year. That would be awesome. Oh, Coman's out for 5 or 6 weeks. Sakari's only out for a few days. You can see we've won 5 games straight, which is marvellous news. And we hope to continue that. So when are we going to come back? I think we come back for this period. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? Did we play Stade Rennais before? I feel like we did. Was it Lille and Stade Rennais we played before? I don't want to repeat the same matches, you see. I think what we'll do, we'll come back for the Nantes game, because that's going to be quite a tough one. We'll come back for Nantes and Nimes, and then after that, we'll come back for PSG and Lyon, because we didn't do that one earlier in the season, and it'll be interesting to see how far we've come. So Saturday's episode will be Nantes and Nimes, and then on Sunday we'll take on the big 2 of the league. As I alluded to there, this series is now moving to 4 episodes a week, on a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Saturday and a Sunday at 6 PM. It's just to accommodate the other content on the channel, and I think the series would perform a little bit better with 4 videos rather than every day, and I think it just gives you time to watch the videos, because I understand now that we're into Football Manager. It's not brand new anymore, is it? We've had a few weeks, and this is a proper save now. It's good to see we've actually increased our profit for the season. In fact, I think that's only because we've sold Dalot. Before we sold Dalot, our profit was down. We were about, sort of, as you can see here, about 5 million down. Then we sold, Dalot. So we've gone up in terms of the profit stakes, which is great. But we shouldn't really be a club who are selling players to make money. But you make money, but you know what I mean, to fund the club. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Sorry I rambled on a bit there, but if you enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Football Manager content, 4 videos a week. And until the next one, I've been TIJ Gaming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.